The definition of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you doubt your own skills and success. You feel you are not as talented or as worthy as others believe, and you're scared one day people will realize that.
What speaking to other human beings has taught me is that we can be the conveyor of hope. We can be the instrument of hope to another person, and they can be the receiver of hope from God. I think to be in this space of being able to help him in his mission of bringing every soul back to heaven. We forget about that he wants every single one of us. He doesn't want just some of us. He wants every soul back with him.
In Galatians chapter 5, verse 13, Paul says, quote, "For you were called for freedom, brothers, but do not use this freedom as an opportunity for the flesh. Rather, serve one another through love."
Basically, the moment you become cognitive that you're a human being until you are no longer a human being on the planet, you experience imposter syndrome. You either think, I'm not enough, people are gonna find out I'm a fraud. What in the world made me think that I could raise a human being, and why did they put it in my hands, and where am I supposed to take it? You know, when you become a parent, every moment is filled with doubt. In my opinion, being a believer, being a Catholic, I believe that this is the perfect way that the enemy is working, because if he can get inside of us and make us focus on ourselves, then he's done the number one thing, which is distract us from focusing on God and what it is that he put us here to do to begin with. I mean, we weren't ever supposed to be on our own solving these problems. And you see that with Christ when he's walking on the planet. There wasn't a moment he wasn't talking to his dad. You know, he was constantly talking to the Father, and he was 100% human, 100% God. So if he had to look outward, you know, and have a conversation, have a dialogue with his Father and showing us what that looks like, then who are we not to do the same?
Because if you were more focused instead of inward about all the bad and all the whatever and all the insecurity, and you're focused on outside with God and what he's already blessed you with, I've got this adorable baby. I made it to the bench that day. I had friends that wanted to hang out with me. Those were 3 things I was grateful for.
We all have, quote unquote, our scale that we measure our worth. That's what mine is. Mine is I measure my worth by my weight. I measure by that scale, by a digital number that I see every single morning. Self-worth does not come from a tangible measure. It doesn't come from a man-made measure. Self-worth comes from God. What it really should be called is God-worth. And every person on this planet has God-worth.
You have to start small. You can't do this overnight. I did not lose 330 pounds overnight, all right? And doing a fight with our battle that we've had our whole life, we haven't done this, it's not gonna be overnight. So one of the things that I tell people to do that's small is to do 5 smiling, deep breaths. And it's something you can start every day. And I start it every day before I do a gratitude practice.
Self-doubt is full of lies. And when you look at something and you're grateful for it, that is filling something with truth. And that's how you combat it. It's not me at all, but him coming through and giving the other person hope and saying, let me bring you with me. You are not alone. That is what this whole faith thing is letting you know you belong. The feedback I have gotten after my talk on imposter syndrome, my favorite feedback is when I get a comment a couple of weeks later and somebody says, everything you talked about I related to, but all the tools and all the tangible things you gave me to do at home, I haven't stopped doing them. That is what I bring to the table. I'm Liv Harrison. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for you watching this video. Thank you. I would love to be a part of your next event, so get in touch and let's move forward together.